Hello and welcome to the Alternative Commentary Collectors Agenda podcast for the 27th of Jan.
The Agenda, an alternative commentary collective podcast.
Oh, g'day there and welcome along to the Agenda podcast with myself, G-Lane, Matt Heath and James McOnie.
G'day, guys.
G'day, guys.
G'day, everyone in New Zealand and around the world that listens to this podcast. G'day.
G'day there. Look, it's almost the end of Jan. We're almost done it.
Oh,
We've
really?
almost done it. Yeah,
Shitter.
we're almost done it. So,
How's the year looking? Is it shaping up a good year?
it's shaping up.
It's
It's
shaping
good.
up like a good year back on track with sport, or
Yep.
have we still got some headwinds?
no headwinds whatsoever. It's all plain sailing.
Oh,
It's
good,
all-
good,
No
good.
headwind, just this nice wind. You can just tack up into it. Maybe one from behind, throw the spinnaker up and just cruise all the way. Right, should we
Oh,
get into
yeah.
it? Let's go around the world. So it's around the world agenda. So let's start off Black Clash. Matt Heath and myself were involved in the Black Clash. James McOnie, you were looking from the sidelines.
I was watching
Yours,
the Black
please.
Clash
Yours,
at home.
please.
Yes, if
Yours,
I could
please.
just say, I loved the Black Clash. I thought it was outstanding. Again, great entertainment. I loved what you were bringing to the table, both of you and the ACC team. I must say, I know there's an ACC elite apparently, but I felt like this was a bit ACC light. Definitely weight-wise. I mean, you're missing myself and Lee Hart, which
Yep.
would add to, and then Jeremy Wells, who's back on here on the Hauraki breakfast with you on Monday, but he couldn't find his way to the mount on
No.
a Saturday. He's
Yeah.
the only person who works for TVNZ.
He was on all the rundowns.
Yeah, he
it
certainly
was like
was.
Jeremy Wells goes here, and it's
Yeah.
like, Matt, you got to go out there and do something because Jerry's not here. And it's like, been carrying that guy's the can. Do you carry that guy's can, or I've been taking it in the can from him? Something with the can with him. I've
Yeah.
been carrying him.
Yeah,
I've been carrying.
Nothing to do with cans. You bought the cans.
He's
in.
got great cans.
He's got good cans.
He's got great cans. He looks good in cans. I've been carrying the can.
Yeah.
He gives it to me in the can, and I was left carrying the can.
But can I just say, the way that you carried the commentary on Saturday night, because I could tell the Boomers at home, and then you read out a couple of their texts, and I was going, oh shit, the Boomers are restless, firing up. But at the same time, it was perfect. It was so on point. I just reckon that game with, I don't want to say, let's just call it missionary position commentary, garden variety commentary, just wouldn't be right. You couldn't actually do that.
Because there was one stage, I don't know,
Yeah.
there's one stage where they cut to Razor Robinson on a Segway
Yeah.
and stacking it in front of the Hot Springs Spas. And then they cut to the corporates and they're panning across the tables on the field and everyone's having a good time. And then there's some dude doing a headstand and then it just carries on. It's total carnage.
Yeah.
5 pitch invasions, which was great.
Oh,
Yeah, it's one of those things you just need to speak to pitches. The pitches are so good, eh? Just
Yeah.
speak to pitches.
Well, Tom Walsh could have killed someone with a bat.
Yeah.
If there was a leg slip of any kind, he would have died.
Oh, yeah.
If there was one criticism of our coverage at the ACC, when all those things were happening, we were generally talking about something else. But I think if we zone in next year and talk about the game, we'll be even better. But what a spectacle! And Jesus Christ, did they dodge a bullet? By literally the next day, they couldn't have done it.
No.
Was it pissing down?
No,
Nah, just the
because the rules changed.
The old traffic lights.
Oh, shoved it up to-
COVIDian. Yes.
Yeah, COVIDian nightmare.
But there was a great Saturday night, that one. There was the Black Clash. There was Symphony down in Wellington. There was LAB in Auckland. There was Soundsplash in Raglan. Where everyone was really going for it. And
Turns out there was a bit. I think was it Soundsplash that there was a bit of
there's
a
a
bit
bit
of
of
the Omicron,
splashing.
a little bit of a little bit of
something.
a little bit of tickle from the old Omicron.
Did DJ Omicron play? I was
yeah,
really
it's a
looking
little bit
forward
of a
to
tickle down
Clark
there.
Gayford managed to get him in the country, which is pretty good.
But the crowd in Tauranga were the Mount Bay Oval.
They were the superstars.
They were great.
Shit, it went off. What was
but
it like there live?
It was awesome. But you know what? They just let them go. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like
let
there
'em go.
was a crowd kind of down third man
Let
from
him
the
go.
Kaimai
Oh,
end.
no, it's let him cry.
go.
And they just let them go, and they played Sandstorm for an entire over, and these guys just went absolutely apeshit. If that had happened,
That
in
new
a-
DJ A-hole, DJ B-hole's great.
yeah,
The new DJ B-hole, he's
he read
bloody
it
great.
and he built it up as well. Like the first innings was just, it wasn't offensive, but obviously you could tell that the crowd was starting to turn, and he started playing these dance
Yeah.
tunes, and people got up and were into it. If that was a New Zealand cricket game, they all would have been thrown out.
Yeah.
100%, all of them would have been thrown out.
And there was no trouble.
Oh,
No.
there was almost. Did you see one piece of trouble? You might have missed it slightly on the commentary. I did one of those sort of nerdy rewinds. It was a massive six hit by either eye sockets or it might have been by.
Oh, was that the one where the lady caught it in her tummy?
No, it was
Snatch catch.
It was right up the back, almost.
Did you say snatch catch?
No.
Oh, was
Good.
it a snatch catch?
No, it wasn't a snatch.
It wasn't a snatch catch.
it was a
but
belly
it was
catch.
almost a
Well, they
snatch
do say
catch.
play in the V.
Yeah.
I tell you what, if you're at a game this season and you perform a snatch catch, ACC will give you $1 million.
Oh, $1 million snatch catch. You've got to catch it right. in the
So
snatch.
anyway, there was a big six over the top. If you get a snatch catch, how much are we giving? $1
million bucks.
Oh, okay. It's got to be proof of it though.
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
it?
You've
Okay.
got to roll back
Yeah.
onto your
Okay. So anyway,
Gotta give birth to
and
an
what-
ass grab as well.
and Bangkok it out of there, sort of thing. Like, yeah, okay.
Give it an ass grab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's fine.
Yeah.
This with the six. Well, how much is it for an ass? It can't be $1 million.
Ass grab's $1 million
'Cause
as
that's
well.
easier.
Ass
No,
grab.
it's not.
Ass grab's $1 million.
Ass grab's $1 million. Look, we've got to be equal here.
Oh, fuck, I'm
Snatch
getting it.
catch and an
I'm
ass
going-
grab.
Well, you know what I'm doing this. For the
Rolling
rest of
onto
the
your
summer.
shoulders
And
and,
not- and
presenting
it's
to the
not-
sun and waiting for it to pass the sheriff's badge so you can
Yeah.
close it up like a
An
clown.
ass
Oh,
grab,
bloody
an
hell.
ass grab has to touch the badge. We can't.
Yeah.
It can't. It's
Yeah.
just you can't be running boulders crack and you're bending down to
No.
to deal with
Well,
something
that's
and
what I was
it
hoping.
gets stuck in the boulders
It's
crack.
not crack. It's got to be right on the badge.
Yep, you got to basically open up the rusty sheriff's badge and you got to close it like a clam.
Okay.
as soon
It'd be
as
great if it happens and it just goes. It hits. He's caught it in his ass, but we're just looking at the rules. No, it has to actually touch badge.
It'll be like this. It'll be like the docking scene from Interstellar. It's impossible. No, I'm gonna do it.
And then
It's like no.
Can you
Pull back, Matthew McConaughey. All right. I'm gonna dock this cricket ball right up my sphincter.
Anyway, we've gone off.
So sorry, what was the piece of trouble you saw in the crowd?
there was a six hit, and there was a classic moment where a guy carrying some beers who had no chance of catching the six decided to go for the catch,
Oh.
and he got in the way of a big angry ponytailed ranger who was totally. He would have taken the catch. There's no. You guys were saying it was $1 million. Obviously, there was no money on the line, just pride. He got so pissed off, he took a swipe at the guy with the beers,
Oh, missed that.
and I was like, okay, just chill out. But luckily, he made that decision of, okay, I've just had a swipe at him. Do I chase him? Because he's kind of like got the beers happy. The beers are still there. But I was just going, oh, they cut away before I could see whether he chased them down.
Yeah.
But it was like he took a big old like beer paw. Like,
Actually, that's the other
I would have
thing.
taken that, mate.
The other thing is the broadcasting crew weren't cutting away from things they normally cut away
Oh,
from.
totally.
They normally cut away from anyone having a good time at the cricket because that suggests that people might be having a few refreshments.
Yeah.
Or in cricket generally in New Zealand after what? When was it? When did they stop celebrating good times in cricket? Because right through the 90s it was all about shots of good times. 2000 was it about?
Early, it was about mid 2000s. They started to
with
buzzkill it.
2005.
Yeah.
They thought actually we don't like the crowd we're getting.
No.
We don't believe.
They stopped serving beers at like change of innings.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
All that kind of thing.
Yeah, and they thought we want a better quality of crowd. We want families, and we want this. And
It was a sevens vibe, wasn't it?
yeah, it was a
It was a
sevens.
It
sevens
was a
vibe.
Nick Kyrgios versus Michael Venus and Kokonakis vibe there.
Bit of a
Who?
knob. He's
Excuse
a
me?
knob.
He's a knob.
Kokonakis.
Hey,
Kokonakis.
Black Clash, can I just say, Tom Walsh, what a revelation. Great selection. Could I maybe venture to say that, do we need more random celebrities in the Black Cash? I would like to see more of somebody from, like, for example, Tom Walsh, nothing to do with either rugby or cricket, but legend, chuck him in there. I mean, I don't care who it is. Put fucking Michael Hill in there. I don't care.
I get what you're saying,
Hello.
but
Sir Ron Briley.
but you've actually got to play. And the thing is that Tom Walsh played grade cricket. Like he was in teams with Latham and
That's
stuff.
what I'm saying.
So
I'm
they've
not
got to-
saying Michael Hill for serious. That was just so I could say this line, which is, hello, Michael Hill, bowler.
Oh, that would be worth
So
it.
that,
That's
there needs to be a little bit of
Michael
pedigree.
Hill, bowler.
A little bit of pedigree.
I played the Hills in Queenstown when I was down there.
Did you? With the foxes all over the hills and stuff?
The
Little
Hills, yeah.
statues
Yeah.
I know,
everywhere?
My
I
goals.
agree. Bit of pedigree. And
When
you're
I
fine.
say I played the Hills, if we hadn't had 2 more glasses of wine, if we'd had 2 less glasses of wine at lunch, we would have made it along
So
to
you
the Hills.
didn't play the hills.
No, but I was
you
invited.
drank and talked about playing the hills.
Yeah, but we got too excited and drank too much talking about playing the Hills, and we were so excited that we'd been invited to play the Hills. And then there was an incident with my shirt, and then there was a couple more wines, and then suddenly the booze became more important than the playing the Hills. You know, like they say, you have a drink, and then the drink has you. You know, the drink
Okay,
has you.
right.
It was one of
yeah.
those
Is that
situations.
what
But I
happened?
could have played the Hills, which is as good as playing the Hills.
So I'd like to find more of those random celebrities who've got a bit of cricketing background. That would be great. And also, instead of the doubly wobbly, I would like to see you nominate your bowler as a power play. You say, I'm going to have this person
Oh,
bowl to
that's
me.
good.
Thanks very much.
Yeah.
And that's your power play because the The problem with the doubly wobbly is that even though it's kind of exciting, it kind of messes everything up. Like it says here, Kieran Reid scored 84 or 55. Well, he didn't, did he? There's doubly wobblies thrown in there, so it fucks it all up. Unless you put the doubly wobblies in a separate thing, because that's going to now stand for all time. Eye sockets, 84 or 55. No. Still an amazing score.
Oh, yeah.
60, 70 odd.
I'm so happy for Kieran Reid because he was, there was a point when he could have gone either way, and he loves cricket. But imagine you have this whole successful rugby career beyond any of the dreams you could ever have,
Captain
right?
the All Blacks.
Captain the All Blacks.
Winning World Cups.
Incredibly successful. But always in the back of your mind, you love cricket. But then for a setup where he plays in front of 10,000 people in a packed crowd, and he's hitting sixes off Shane Bond. It's on television. It's the most watched sporting event in New Zealand for the year.
Yeah.
How good would that be for him? In fact, he told me that his brother texted him and goes, "This is the best thing you've ever done." Straight away.
Those 2 fours off Bondi, I was like, holy shit.
And they're beautifully timed shots.
Yeah.
Afterwards, having a few beers with Kieran afterwards, and I was like, was that like a wet dream? And he was like, oh, mate, that was it's up there.
And do you know what's great about it? It's because he's retired. He's created a cricket bod. You know what I mean? Like, it's like
he's lean.
Same
now,
with the
isn't
goat.
he?
Yeah. Same with the goat.
Same with the goat.
Lean as
cricketing bod. But Tom Walsh fielded in like the boulder at the start of Raiders of the Lost Ark. That like rolling.
They're rolling a lot. I love that.
rolling up to the ball.
He's a big unit, man.
Shit, he's a good guy. He's a great New Zealander. We had him on the Matt and Jerry show. He's just such a great guy.
He is. He's awesome. And he just sort of provided that extra bit of entertainment that you weren't really sort of banking on, because you know those mega co-wards who are pretty good at every sport. You figure Will Jordan, if he gets through, he's going to be, impressive again. Eye socket's amazing. But I think if you called out the bowler for your power play, if you just said, okay, it's you, Parore, get out there, because people wouldn't probably see Adam Parore bowl anyway.
Yeah.
And so it would be quite an awesome thing. And you go, I'll take Walsh.
Bring
it in.
Do you have anyone else you can put behind the stumps?
Yeah.
Yes, BJ. He's only just retired. Hey, exactly. I've got a front foot. This is a controversy around the black cash, and it was, Kieran Reid was looking good to carry his bat.
He only needed, what did they need to win? One to win, and
Yeah.
He was not out. You did this.
Can Kieran Reid carry his bat?
In he comes, bowls to Reid. Oh, no, surely not! Taken by Fleming again!
No! Jason Hoyt, that's a terrible commentator's curse.
So you've done what you've done there.
blamed
I
it
love
on
it.
Hoyt.
I was panicked. I panicked.
You panicked and you just
I
threw
tried to.
Hoyt under the bus.
At that second, I realised no one can see us. They'd have to recognise our voice. But
I knew.
my scratchy little squeaky little voice is nothing on Jason Hoyt, so I was always going to get rumbled. But what shocked me was how they went straight to the interview with Kieran Reid walking off back to the sheds, and he immediately knew it was me. There's no way he could have heard this.
The commentary team, the ACC, put the knockers on you. Said that you're going to see it out.
Oh, mate, I know. Commentary curse, I bet it was the one and only Matt Heath, wasn't it?
He knew.
He
How did he know?
knows. He knows.
I only knew
he's
that
so
it-
prolific.
Oh my God! You guys need to get a room. This bromance is just getting. I can feel the heat from over here.
But it was the thing with the Black Clash, though. I think it was the best game in terms of people want to see sixes and fours in it. 203 rugby get it 204. Sure, the doubly wobbly, the 40 runs that came off Bondi's over changed it, but still we got to see McCullum's scoop. Got to see him smash one through the covers.
Yeah. Oh, that's the thing. Doubly wobbly, if people don't know, it's you get double runs from your over. And Brendan McCullum said, "Well, we'll do it off Shane Bond," and we were going, "Really?" But then he explained, "Vittori, he's too wily.
Yeah.
He's too wily. You can't guarantee there's going to be enough in the slot. Whereas even Shane Bond, a mishit or a ramp."
I mean, and it is a 46-year-old Shane Bond. You know what I mean? It's not. Although, geez, he came in and opened with a beamer to Kieran Reid. Kieran Reid was saying that they'd been out for a coffee the day before. That had a good chat.
Bowled him,
and it was just bumper tried to take off his head.
That was and he just looked at him, turned, walked back to his mark, and he just about cleaned him up. He would have been bowling probably 130s, I reckon.
Yeah.
Bondi. But Vittori said also about Kieran Reid. He was like, "Fuck, he was hard to bowl to." He goes, "I've never bowled to someone who sits so deep in their crease." It was like Raul Dravid.
Oh, right.
Because he pulled him for 1-4, and Vittori's like, "That was a fucking good ball," but he sat so far back in the crease. He said he was like Raul Dravid. It's like, that's a great comparison.
So,
Like you take that if you're Kieran Reid.
Well, I guess Kieran Reid must know in terms of body awareness where he is, because if you're at the back of the scrum, you know,
Yeah.
you know that the ball's at your feet and the stumps are right behind you, and that's your job. Eye sockets knows.
Yeah.
There you go.
He was impressive, got to say, and Will Jordan was special
Classy.
again.
Classy.
Yeah, classy.
Classy.
Jeez.
I'll tell you what.
Will Jordan walks anywhere near a female and basically they fall over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about old
Geordie
Geordie
and a male,
Barrett?
or a male.
Geordie, yeah.
Sorry, I was
Geordie,
gonna say.
Geordie Barrett with the yips though. He saw him afterwards. He goes, "I got the total yips. I couldn't pitch it up. I was just bowling bounces the whole time." He goes, "If I didn't take that catch, I don't think I'll ever play this game again."
No, he's a top bloke as well. He's a great New Zealander, isn't he?
Okay, another agenda item here from around the world. Anyone want to get on the rinse with Brendan Taylor? Keen to have a night out with Brendan Taylor, the
Brendan
former Zimbabwean
Brendan Taylor,
cricketer.
yeah.
Oh,
Well,
right.
the thing
yes,
is-
I didn't know who that was.
Okay,
sorry.
Well,
so-
he didn't know, did he? He didn't do it.
No, he didn't do it, but
Well,
it's
he
a
says he didn't do it.
Classic honey trap though. So
Yeah,
Brendan
honey trap.
Taylor obviously loves the nose beers.
Yeah.
He's a bit of a kind of a nose bag, but he and they knew this. These Indian bookmakers.
That he's a nose bag.
He's a nose bag, and they invited him to this corporate event.
Mm-hmm.
Got him lick it up, stuck some nose beers up him,
Nose
videoed it, some nose A's, videoed him, then approached him the next day. Obviously, the next day after a big night on the nose beers and the beers, obviously feeling vulnerable, they turn up to his room and go, "I got you, sucking on the devil's cock, and we want you to maybe alter some games for us,
Yeah.
and we'll give you 20 grand."
Yeah.
And he's gone, fuck.
Yeah. But how quickly did he report it?
Took him 6 months. That's just why he's come out with a statement, because the ICC are going to ban him for 2 years. But I think he's retiring anyway.
Yeah,
But I think the key was that he took him so long to report it. He said he didn't go through with any of it. He said he fully...
How would you know with Zimbabwe? Are they trying
Yeah.
to win games or throw them? Would it, you know?
Well, yeah, whether
How
it's
would you
spot
know
fixing.
it's
spot
Zimbabwe?
fixing.
How
Spot swing.
you gonna know with Zimbabwe?
But that's the thing, and you and me, Gillian, we've talked a lot about the Bad Sports Hansi Kronya documentary, and you give those bookmakers a little in, and then they have everything because they can destroy your entire career. So you think that you get, like, Hansi Kronya just got handed a leather jacket with it was fuck all. It was like the equivalent of 2,500 American.
Yes.
And he was like,
Heaps of rand, though.
yeah, heaps of rand. Yeah, it was a lot of rand. And it was in the jacket, like, they put it in his jacket, they returned a jacket or something like this. And he's like, oh, okay. And he loved money, Hansi Kronya, and he goes, oh, that's just a little present.
Yeah.
But then they've fucking got you because you've accepted $2,500 from a bookmaker, and then it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse, and then you're fucked. So, yeah, you can't even do anything.
Well, they must have done.
And the
they-
honey traps and the,
Yeah,
you know, like,
they must have done the background check on him as well, on Brendan Taylor. They must have known he was a big fan of the nose beers.
he was a
because-
nose bag specialist.
Because they got him over and they specialised in the honey trap was the nose bag specialist. So they knew he was
So it just ends
a
up
nose brewer.
as a blackmail extorting
Correct.
situation. So that's how it starts.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden,
You're fucked.
yeah, fuck.
And you're getting 50,000 for the game or 100,000 for the game. Who knows what you're getting? But you're in.
You're
And
in.
so once you're in,
Ass is theirs.
your ass is theirs.
What? But I mean, is it so bad if the video got released of him smashing a few nose A's? Like,
Well, what's the ban for smashing nose A's?
Back then, when was
I
it?
don't think so. This was recent. I think this was in the last couple of years.
Oh, he'll be all right. with
Yeah,
that.
I don't-
You can bounce back from those.
Oh
days.
yeah, you look at
That's
our beloved what's that little hottie that had the
Reece Walsh.
Reece Walsh, little
Yeah.
Reece
Yeah.
Walsh. We don't you don't win the award you're up for.
Nah.
But you know you're back. A bit of nose beers. No one worries
Well,
about
didn't
it. So if he'd
just
the
gone,
nose beers, he'd gone. Hey,
Yeah.
I've been approached. They honey trapped me on the nose beers. He'd actually be seen as a hero.
Yeah.
If he'd
He
done
would.
it. If he'd done it.
I was drunk.
A drunk, if he did it like within an hour, he
Yeah.
immediately ran and got the phone. I've just been offered nose beers by these fucking guys. Well, when did they show him the video? That's the thing, I guess.
The
Because
next morning,
'cause-
when you're at the lowest of low, when you've got no soul.
No.
And you go, I'm back on the what? Am I back on?
No,
Let me have a look at that video. Oh, yeah, I thought so. I'm back on those.
Yeah.
The other thing is...
Told myself, no nose beers.
The Melbourne Storm had a photo of that incriminating photo with a sort of little rails and stuff
Oh, yes.
on the coffee table.
Yeah.
And so it seems to be a common occurrence. It's like, who's going to get away with what in the off season? And now with even more social media, the thing is, yeah, he needed to just do the old look. I've been busted for nose beers. I'm pretty much.
I've
always
put
been-
myself into drug rehabilitation.
Yeah.
I've got a problem. I've got a problem
Yeah.
with the booze. I was molested as a child. My coach, just throw your coach under the bus and said, my
mental
coach,
stress.
my coach called me shit.
Yeah,
And
fat.
useless,
Useless.
useless, and said I played the guitar too much, and then or something. What was you only there to play the guitar, whatever, something terrible, and then you can play the victim card, and you've also been right there. You've outed some fucking bookmakers, so there's some business there. You will be murdered, but you come away with your reputation a little less intact.
Yeah, so Brendan Taylor. Well, I mean,
Just don't catch any planes. Like
was
Hauraki Cronja's big mistake was catching the small planes.
yeah, the Cessnas.
Yeah, when you look at the plane, you're like,
Big fan of the Cessna.
But the other thing is, if you know that the bookmakers are going to find a way, and of course they tried with New Zealand, but New Zealand was too much drama, right? It's like, oh my god, look at the drama from these guys.
Jeez.
Zimbabwe seem to be a country in a little bit of turmoil, don't they? I'd say Zimbabwe, and have we got any people in Zimbabwe who've got, there he is.
Oh, Brendan, there you go. Loves a nose beers.
There we go.
Oh.
There's our target.
Bless.
Real nosebag. Hey, ICC Cricket Awards, another agenda item. Hightower, Gulliver, and Steady the Ship made the test team with Steady the Ship captaining, which is good. Good to see Steady the Ship also at the Black Clash as well. See him talking to Sam Cane, a couple of goats. Joe Root, Test Player of the Year.
Jesus.
What's that? Is that just? It must be purely on averages because he hasn't won anything. Has
Well,
he?
and also, had terrible Ashes as well. And Pakistan.
Well, that's
clean-
what I mean. He hasn't won anything definitely there. But we also played England before we played the World
Yes,
Test
and he didn't do
final.
anything.
And what wasn't it, a 2-0 or was it definitely
it
a
was.
draw and a win?
No, it was a draw. Remember, England played for the draw at
But
Lords.
we won
the second one.
They won the second one. So there was nothing really to write home about. But there must have been some good. You'd say that for the Cricketer of the Year, it's probably got to be either if there's a Kiwi who's done well since we won the world title.
Yeah.
India, they were there and obviously had the miracle at the Gabba and all that sort of thing. And then it's got to be bloody dirty old Australia.
Australia.
So maybe the people on the panel just went,
we can't give it to Australia.
Australia.
But Pakistan cleaned up the rest. ICC T20 Cricketer of the Year is Mohammad Rizwan.
Do you know what says that? Oh, sorry, you go.
And
Babar Azam.
Babar Bazam wins the ODI Cricketer of the Year. And the Garfield Sobers ICC Men's Cricketer of the Year is Shaheen Afridi, the big left armour.
Is the BCCI's influence waning? Like,
Yeah.
How have they allowed that to happen?
I know, 3 Pakistanis, an Englishman, and 2 Kiwis. I don't know. Maybe they stacked the test team full of for Indians, maybe.
Yeah.
So, but that was that's
It was a negotiation.
That's all the cricket agenda.
Big deal for Kyle Jameson, got to say.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Shit,
how
yeah.
often do you, like, it's pretty hard to get anyone in that freaking 11. We've got 2 people. We've got Steady the Ship, old Kane Williamson, but young Kyle, who I thought was amazing in that World Test final. We wouldn't have won it without him. And that might have tipped the scales.
I tell you what I loved about the Black Clash, just going back a bit, is seeing Steady the Ship Williamson walking around in a Steady the Ship hat.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
He is.
It just looks great,
And
now.
he did. I had talked to him actually.
'Cause
and
he was there just purely in a what do you call it? Amateur. No, what do you call it? He was just there for fun. He wasn't there in a professional capacity. He was just there having a good time.
Yeah.
Shit, he's a fucking good bloke.
he's such a nice guy. And he was going to me. He goes, I was at the gym the other day, and the guy I'm training was like, man, is there any chance you can get me one of your hats? And he's like, bro, I don't have any of them. And I was like, Kane, I will send you 1,000 hats.
How much room have you got in
Like,
your
if
garage?
you want, and he goes, oh no, that's all right. He goes, you can have as many as you want, mate. Like, because people are wearing them.
can you just
know,
send
for
them?
you.
Can you send them a box of hats?
Yeah.
Because I think that's the one thing that Kane should
Could
do.
we spend some money and get a pristine, the best one? Because these
with
ones,
little gold
yeah,
ropes.
The proper
a
yacht owner.
proper really
Yes, that's a good idea.
South of
leather
France.
interior,
Yeah.
Yeah.
proper leather like
Yeah.
the ultimate King Daddy Steady the Ship hat
Yeah.
for Steady the Ship.
Yeah, and he can just keep it on the mantelpiece.
A bit blinged out, so that
Yeah.
when he does put it
That's a
on,
good
it's
idea.
just a little bit of something.
That's a good idea. Rest around the world, NFL.
Oh my God.
Shit the bed.
That was the greatest weekend of NFL in the history of the time. Did you guys watch the Rams Buccaneers or the Chiefs Bills?
I watched the end of the Rams Buccaneers.
Oh, Stafford. I mean, only Brady could bring it back from 27-3 down. The Bucs were just getting absolutely smashed by my beloved Rams. Absolutely smashed every part of the game. And Brady's like, this is nothing. I've come back from 28. he was like nothing. And it was almost like the first time that Brady zoned into the game when they were 27-3 down. He's like, oh, yeah, I might as well might as well get back and get it in. And he nearly freaking did it, which would have been the biggest choke of all time by the Rams. It would be literally the biggest playoff chokes of all time. But, they've been superb. But then Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp, I love that team. But who doesn't fucking mark Cooper Kupp?
Yeah.
Who's
the gun receiver?
He's the triple crown. He's got the highest stats. Matthew Stafford only really likes throwing to him. And twice right up the guts to Cooper Kupp right in the middle. They get there and they get the field goal to win in the very last second. It's phenomenal.
Can I just say that with 27-3 down, it was such a movie. When it's so Hollywood because you had the legend, the GOAT over there, and then the Rams v GOAT sort of thing. But anyway, the Rams turned up and they took that lead, and you can imagine in the movie version of it, the commentators going, well, he is 45 years old.
Yeah.
He's 44, and he's looking old. He's blah blah blah, and this is it's an absolute trouncing. And then back in the change room, they'd have the amazing Al Pacino speech and stuff. And then they come out, and he's like, whoa, and then it's montage with the music and stuff. And then he gets them level, and frickin' Rams buddy kicked and spoil the Hollywood ending. So that's but the movie was there. The movie was there to be written and signed and sealed and delivered. Although, is it a better movie? Is America ready for the hero to walk off into the sunset as a loser, like Kevin Costner in Bull Durham?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of talk about Tom Brady retiring on this because it's very hard to retire once you've won a Super Bowl. Because it would have been hard. Like he could have just gone out, won that Super Bowl, last one with the Bucks, and gone. Because he'd beat Aaron Rodgers as well, who's the other legendary guy around at the moment. I mean, there's a lot of legendary guys around, but he didn't because you can't fucking stop once you win a Super Bowl. So it's actually easier for him to retire now, and he's still on top because he did everything to win that game. It was there was some pretty shit activity in the Bucks, in the defense. Mind you do have Aaron Donald, and you do have Von Miller, and you do have Floyd coming around, so it's pretty hard to defend your quarterback against the Rams.
I think one more year and a sort of like tour of like a regal farewell tour where he waves and swaps jerseys and all that sort of stuff. And
but he had great stats this year. I mean, this thing is he's going out with. I mean, he was leading the quarterback stats. I think Aaron Rodgers got him by the end, but he had a fucking great year this year. But I don't think the Bucks have got the team around him. He'd have to, if he came back, they'd have to go, you need to get some fucking better players around me, mate.
Yeah, well, he had a few of his good guys injured, and that's the thing. If they weren't, then
maybe. But exciting. Rams 49ers. The 49ers have beaten the Rams 6 games in a row, even though the Rams are a much better team. 49ers have got the thing, and Bengals Chiefs. So to me, it's going to be a Chiefs. The Chiefs are going to beat the Bengals. So Super Bowl!
So I'm just reading, you obviously got a massive white on for NFL.
Yeah.
I'm slowly getting into it. I'm getting behind the Rams.
Rams!
Purely because of the sheep thing for me.
Yeah,
All New Zealanders should get behind the Rams.
Yeah.
But NFL, I totally underestimated how big it is, especially in the States. Now, they make $16 billion worth of revenue a year, the NFL. $16 billion. Just think about that. They're out of the top 100 most watched TV broadcasts in 2021, last year, the NFL had 75. Out of the top 100. Do you know how many NBA had?
How many?
0. NHL? 0. MLB? 0.
Yeah.
Top 100.
It's just
75 of the top 100 TV broadcasts.
It's in the DNA, but also it's fewer games. That's the reason why.
Well, what the NFL does well is every game matters.
Yeah, that's right.
It's insane.
And every game matters.
Imagine if Super Rugby made $16 billion a year. I know, I know it's scalable, but it's America. But fuck me.
But the interesting thing is the NBA players get played a bit more because they don't wear helmets. So apart from the QBs and a couple of people on the team, no one knows. They don't become superstars in the zeitgeist as much as other people do they? If you're like a sort of center or something, like some fat guy with a helmet on, I don't know who he is. But it's getting bigger and bigger in New Zealand. And I was on a bus between Dunedin and Queenstown, and it suddenly struck me why the NFL is getting so big in New Zealand. It's because there was a Rams game I wanted to watch, and I could just watch it on my phone as we were traveling. You didn't used to have access to it.
No.
But how can rugby in New Zealand become as exciting? How can Super Rugby compete with the NFL in terms of
They
excitement.
need to sort out the scrums, which remember we're pretty much mowing lawns, making multiple cups of tea. You could probably do one of those slow cooker, like a pot roast.
Pot roast with a blade steak in it.
A casserole.
Now what we're going to do is
And
we're
that
going
time.
to have Friday night footy.
With the ACC.
That's what I was waiting for. That's how Super Rugby is going to come back and be the most.
Friday night's a great night for football.
Us three calling the rugby on Friday night at the same time. Friday night's a great night for football.
Yeah.
There we go.
Woo!
Yeah. Yeah. Races gather round. Tonight.
Friday night's a great night for football. Where are people going to be able to view our Friday night's a great night for football games right through the Super Rugby season?
Well, hopefully Sky Sport and iHeartRadio.
Oh.
YouTube and Facebook as well.
Yeah.
So, that kicks off. That kicks off pretty
So
goddamn
whatever you're
soon,
doing,
3 weeks.
whatever you're doing on a Friday night,
Just
just get some beers in at home,
Yeah.
get your friends around, beers in at home, and it'll be the ACC Friday night's a great night for
Yeah,
football.
get
You
into
just
it.
know that you only have to watch one game a week, Friday night. with us.
Aussie Open. It's got interesting. Old
Right.
Kiwi Michael Venus has got stuck into Nick Kyrgios with this.
He's my Venus.
At the end of the day, he's just an absolute knob. I mean, I think it just speaks for him. His maturity level is about, it's probably being generous to a 10-year-old to say that it's about at that level.
What's happened to the Aussie Open?
Oh, shots fired.
What's happened?
Hey.
Aussie Open. The crowd's gone feral. They're beating up the staff. They're not booing. They're going suey or something, which is some sort of TikTok thing. They go suey or something. It's kind of weird.
But also, it's quite
It's-
hard to get tennis.
It's gone full bogan.
Tickets to the tennis, but the bogans are finding their way in.
Yeah.
They're actually going.
It's a bit
"We'll
it's
go."
become WWE, eh? You got
Yeah.
good guys, bad guys. It's like, but Nick Kyrgios, was he cool about what Michael Venus, the Kiwi, was saying?
I don't think he gives a fuck.
He said,
What did he say back?
you're just a dubs, mate. You're just dubs.
You're just a dubs
Oh,
player.
you're
You're
just
just a
potato.
dubs player,
You're,
mate.
you're a potato. No
I don't
one
even-
was there to watch you, you potato.
Yeah, you're just dubs. You're a potato. No one
They
cares.
called him a
I don't know
potato.
why I was
Call him
even
a
playing
potato.
you. You're just a potato.
At least call him a goddamn kumara.
Yeah. Or a
Fucking
kiwi
asshole.
fruit.
Yeah.
Fucking asshole.
Yeah.
But to be honest, Kyrgios, even though he did act like a knob, like he was pretty much walking over into, crossing the court over to where the other guy, Kokonakis, his
Oh,
Excuse me.
partner,
Oh, come on,
James.
James.
his
Well, this was-
partner, Kokonakis.
Oh,
Cockanassel.
James.
Kokonakis.
Oh, James.
Fuck. Jesus
No,
Christ,
oh, you have to say, Greece, because that's where the surname comes from.
Cock and ass.
Oh, Greece, come on.
Oh.
Entire country of Greece.
Cock and ass.
Oh, what are you doing, you
they're
Greeks?
they're known perverts in Greece. No, that was the
Kokonakis.
Romans, actually. The Greeks were fine, weren't they? They were just
Oh,
sort
I'm
of
sure Plato and
togaing around.
Socrates,
Socrates, you
probably.
reckon he was a bit of a...
Well, they got a toga on. What else are you going to do?
I tell you what,
Pretty easy
I've been to a
access
few
in a
toga
toga.
parties and it's pretty easy access
A
in a
bit of
toga.
Kokonakis.
There's a bit of Kokonakis
Yeah,
in the
it's
toga
lot
party.
of Kokonakis.
Hey, so anyway, Kokonakis
Oh.
was receiving the Venus, from Venus, okay?
Yeah.
So Venus was serving to the Kokonakis, and then Kyrgios was pretty much wandering over onto the other side of the court. And so he's being a complete dickhead. But the interesting thing was the umpire, she's really experienced and quite hot, Portuguese woman. She should have been slamming him and saying, this is, because
being
you're
a
allowed to
dick.
penalise him, you stop being a dick, blah, blah, blah. And I don't think she was actually firm enough. But to be honest, she was looking at this crowd going, there's some serious fucked up bogans here.
Yeah.
And I'm a hot Portuguese woman who's just here to umpire tennis. I don't need to deal with any of this shit.
Yeah.
So if I dock him points or a
Yeah.
game, we're all fucked.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
like,
it's
like-
gone full feral.
It's full
gone
feral. I
full
like it.
feral.
I like it.
You like it?
Rod
It needs,
Laver
it
feral.
needs something.
It's-
It needs something.
But it's
tennis.
also the true essence of Australia as well.
Yeah,
Australia.
but both
They're
those
coming out.
and Flushing Meadows have always been they've always been a bit different from
the
Wimbledon.
volume has come
yeah,
up.
the volume's sort of coming up. But if you can play cricket, we've talked about this before. If you can play cricket in a noisy environment, why the
Yeah.
fuck can't you play tennis in a noisy? Why does it have to be silent so these wankers
Yeah.
can
Serve and receive.
yeah like. You
That
don't,
is
you don't
weird.
even you don't even see like I don't know
NFL
Kane,
or-
Kane Williamson at the at the T20 Oh, he wasn't.
Well, they're 50 metres away, I guess, in cricket.
Yeah, I guess.
As
Okay.
opposed to 5.
Yeah, okay, but like you can find a million other sports that are you know like okay, so you say let's just go back to NFL for a second. They can't hear the calls, so the crowd is encouraged to be as loud as they can, so the quarterback can't do the calls. So I mean, there's a lot of sports where noise is an issue and a home crowd advantage. So just suck it up, tennis players. Jesus.
I kind of agree with you because I'd like tennis to change and get more exciting and have some of that, but maybe they just need to, because a couple of Davis Cup ties have got a bit like that. I think I saw Argentina play Spain and far out was like crazy, like gladiator style crowd, but they must have tried it and it's just too hard for them to control and also return serve. They went, well, I can't fucking, if there's people behind me with the fucking pool noodles, I can't see the ball. so I can't see anything.
Just people having like tennis balls on.
And it's like every game, 40 love. Okay, let's go back. 40 love again. This is a bloody ding dong battle, this one.
Yeah.
You know.
But one thing I like about tennis is the name Ash Barty. I love saying Ash Barty. Ash Barty. Ash Barty. Ash Barty. It's like Arj Barker. Ash Barty. Ash Barty. Ash Barty.
My kid's favourite player because they call it Ash Barty.
Oh, yeah.
So they love it. So they think it's great.
Yeah,
so they're Ash Barty all over the place.
I hope they
That's
get some
disgusting.
good time and time out for that.
Yeah.
I would.
Call it Ash Barty one more time and that's time out. Ash Barty.
So, and this is from other news.
Do
New
your
Zealand
kids understand the joy? Anyway, let's just we'll carry on.
The New Zealand Cricket have announced that they're consolidating all of their games coming out for the rest of the season. So both South African tests, due to start Feb 17, will be played in Christchurch.
Is that because of the shat
on
on the park? The shat on the park. Because we were calling it the shitter on the park, that hotel, but then Brendan McCullum said
really nice.
He really liked it. And apparently, but I think if you Baz McCullum, you give him the penthouse suite, and it's nice. But that's a cricket.
Yes.
That's the cricket MIQ.
But then the Aussie T20s, which they still think are going ahead, 3 Aussie T20s, even though they haven't booked them any MIQ bids, they are all going to be in Napier.
Wow.
Oh, Napier, but Napier refused to go to cricket.
I don't think they're going to have crowds, surely.
Oh, right. That's the perfect time to go to Napier. It's no different from when they go,
Yes.
I'm an idiot.
But you've got the setting sun issues as well, haven't you, in Napier?
Put up a sail.
Really weird. Anyway.
They need to wedge a yacht in there with the sail up. And the spinnaker up.
They do.
And the Dutch Schmock and a Pancake series,
Yeah.
first 2 games there are going to be at the Mount, second 2 in Hamilton.
Oh, that'll be a Dutch oven. That's good. We need that. And a Dutch rudder as well. because it's down in
that'd
the
be
Mount.
great for Napier because they always try and get games and then no one turns up and they'll go, well, we gave you those Aussie games. And they're like, well, no one could come in. No one comes in anyway, you assholes.
Well, I think they could sell tickets and still they'll come under their 100.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Dutch farmers in the Waikato. That game in the Trong could be all orange in the crowd there. I'm telling you.
We're going full orange.
Yeah.
We're ditching the Black Cats for that series.
A lot of Vanderstaps and Van Hoppies and Vander Havens.
I'm going Vanderlane for that
Yeah.
series.
Vanderlane, yeah.
They're changing all the colour of all the road cones in the country to orange in support of
It's
the
it's
Dutch.
really nice that
Yeah.
they're doing that.
We're bringing back the Tui Catch a
And
Million.
all the road workers and,
Yeah.
and all the builders as
Yeah,
well.
everyone's going to be in orange
Yeah,
to
it's
support
really
them.
cool. It's really nice.
And
But
they
a lot of the fruit is going orange.
they
A
should
lot of our fruit.
they should bring out the Great Leveller as well. At halftime, the New Zealand team have compulsory buckies.
Oh,
Compulsory
yeah.
bucky bongs at the change.
Oh, the leveler.
But
Yeah,
the
the great
problem,
leveler.
is that there's going to be a couple of black caps who'll be quite immune. They're like, yeah, I'm all right with this. And you'll find out, you go, geez, he's doing all right. He's bowling quite well now.
He looks so relaxed.
The ACC will be commentating in a window with a red light above us.
And just going,
With a pole, with Jason Hoyt pole dancing and stuff. Mike Minogue would be an amazing pole dancer.
we've Schmock and a Pancake, cricketing clogs. Pancakes.
We need to get some clogs. Some ACC clogs would be nice
With
for that
spikes in the
series.
front. Yeah.
With all
Spiked clogs.
little sort of pigtail wigs, you know, the little sort of.
Aren't you cutting off Joe Jury's ear as well?
Yeah, we're going to cut Joe Jerry's ear off. That's right. And
Is
reenact.
this cultural appropriation
off.
if I just eat nothing but waffles for the whole time?
No, that's all right.
Yeah,
Maybe we broadcast from an attic.
Yeah.
No?
Yep, live from the attic. Too soon. Too soon.
Too soon. It was
soon.
World War II, mate. Just, hey,
Too soon.
Or the Aussies in Napier, three games. This is kind of classic. This smacks of Australia doing the control freak thing. Like, we will choose where we're going.
Yeah.
We'll choose where we're playing. We're going to play those 3 games, and that's it. And then we're flying in, we're flying out, and we're going to stay at some fancy resort. What's
Craggy
that?
Range.
Craggy, it's exactly the
We're
one.
gonna
Is that
stay
the
at
one where you
Craggy
got
Range?
kicked out or Lee Hart?
Get
had
them
a
into
massive
Craggy
bill?
Range because there's so much delicious red wine
They'll get shit.
everywhere in every one of those
Cottages.
that
Yeah.
that you know. And
Is there a golf course there as well at Craggy Range? Or is that the other?
no.
That's what's that called?
there's so much red wine. No one would use.
kidnappers, yeah.
No one would use the golf course. There's so much red wine. Everyone's got a fucking pulsating head. It's, geez, I love Craggy Range.
Let's go visit them.
Yeah.
Okay,
Shame.
white on of the week. What gave you a white on this week, Matt Heath?
It was the Rams beating the Buccaneers, obviously. Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp. So little time to get in field goal position, then right up the guts, and then Matthew Stafford making the team so they didn't have that cock up we had from last week with the Cowboys. Up the guts, run, and get into position to spike the ball and get that fucking Matt Gay to kick it over. And Jesus Christ, how good was that?
Wonderful.
White on for the week, me it's definitely Kieran Reid.
Oh,
Seeing a fellow sportsman.
You ignored your
Oh.
romance buddy.
Oh, my favourite.
Yeah.
Oh,
Seeing
can I take mine back?
someone
Oh.
live his childhood
Yeah.
dream and do it.
And that
So
changes
well.
his legacy is as good as it can get. But that changes it. Like I went to play golf with my uncle yesterday, and he says, does Uncle Tim? He says, kid Kieran Reid. It's just he goes, Kieran Reid is even more of a legend than he could possibly be. You know, it's another.
How can he just become more of a god?
Yeah.
Yeah, he isn't. Like my white on was for the San Francisco 49ers who went to the snow in Green Bay. And all the talk about it, and I love American sports shouting, as it's called. Remember on 30 Rock, they had the sports show called Sports Shouting. And so they were all shouting about how Jimmy Garoppolo, he's never thrown a pass in temperatures lower than 4 degrees and all this kind of stuff. And is the cold weather a factor? Sure it is. He's not got no chance, blah, blah, blah. They went over there. They frickin' beat pretty much the MVP at home in the snow. This is from San Francisco. Plus, it happened with a charge down. The punter took too many steps, and I'm like, as an old footy first five, I'm like, too many fucking steps. I could see it straight away, and you know your coach will be giving you absolute shit in rugby. But instead, this punter who has one job and gets paid $1 million to do it took pretty much 3 or 4 steps and got charged the fuck down. And season over. And so that gave me a white on to see such an underdog with everyone writing them off beat a team in the shittiest conditions in Green Bay. I was like, that's a white on.
But the whole thing with that is like, say you got special teams in NFL, like, and that's been happening to Green Bay all season.
Yeah.
Your job is to just not fuck up. Like you don't come on and fuck up. That's the one job of special teams. Don't come on and fuck up because everyone else has to do all the work. Just don't come on and fuck it up. And they just came on and fucked it up twice.
But also, who would even think to take that many steps in the snow? You've got people bearing down on you. You would not do it. And having played first five, and you've probably played, everybody here has played first five, except for Joel. Oh, Joel has as well. He's nodding. Is that you got to get rid of the frickin' ball, and you've pretty much got 0 steps half the time.
Yeah.
Because the flanker's coming down. He's going to smash you anyway. And all you have to do is get the ball down the field somewhere.
Yeah.
So your forwards don't turn around and go, you're a fucking dick. And
Thanks for getting sacked.
Yeah, exactly. And this guy got charged down, and he knew exactly what to do and couldn't do it.
Well, it got charged down and picked up and then run in for a touchdown.
But
that's probably the worst thing that could ever happen.
Yeah, spun away from all his teammates as well. It's like, and the guy who picked it up, I loved it, is a Polynesian player, And I was like, yeah, he would have played a bit of rugby.
Loose ball, jumped on the loose ball.
Just a loose ball, scooped it up.
Just scooped it up, no problems.
Yeah.
No problems.
Okay, attendance required this week. This weekend for me is the Super Smash. There's a couple of Super Smashes. There's a Super Smash final in Hamilton on the 29th. My Northern Brave are in the final, and I think the semi-final is decided the next couple of days.
My Northern Brave.
My Northern Brave.
You're going to have to change their names like the Redskins. Are they named after...
No, these guys are brave.
Because they've gone from Knights.
No, they're brave. They're brave now. Both. See, I agree with this. The women's and men's team are both Northern Brave.
Brave, yeah.
Whereas you got Central Districts are like the Central Hinds and the Central Stags.
Being called a hind means you've been called an arse, aren't you?
Yeah, and then you've got the Canterbury Wizards and the Canterbury Wizard Sleeves. And then in Dunedin, you've got...
Wizard sleeve. It's big like wizard sleeve.
And then in Dunedin, you've got the Volts and the... Lightning Stars. We've got
The power bottoms.
Just do what they do with the Big Bash. Just call them the same. It's the women's and men's.
No.
Same, like Aces and Hearts, or is it Aces and Queens?
Just give them a separate name. It's
Why?
fine.
It's the same franchise.
Because it's like black sticks with hockey.
Can't you call them the
Brisbane
Otago
Heat.
men, the Otago boys, Otago girls?
Well, just I don't know. I agree with what Northern done. They've just gone the same. Brave. Yeah, it's
You
the
reckon?
Brave. Yeah.
Men's
They're in
brave,
the
women's
final.
brave.
But also this weekend is the Super Bash at Eden Park. Your chance to hit a 6 at Eden Park. So they've dropped in the international wicket. They've got a bowling machine there. You can go out there, you face 6 deliveries and try and hit a 6 at Eden Park. On the big screen, but they even put the lights
You
on
did
a
it.
bit
You
later
did it,
on.
didn't you, Mike Lane?
I did. I managed to get one out of the screws.
Did you get one out of the screws, James? You got one, eh?
Yeah, I got one out of the screws. I hit a 6 over the polar bear.
Yeah, and I came back for a risky 2.
You did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
you did.
you hit a few 4s, Matt Heath. But the thing is
It's hard to hit it straight. You got to hit it straight.
Yeah.
you got to hit it straight, and your natural shot isn't quite cow corner, but it's pretty much went to the longest boundary. You were picking deep mid wicket, which
That's
is
why
fucking
I tried
long.
to turn around and take a Chanderpool kind of stance
Yeah,
to do
you
it,
did.
but without resetting.
Yeah, you went full Craig McMillan v Shane Warne at the Basin Reserve when you faced square leg. No, so there's still tickets available for that. I think you can get a special on it at the moment if you go to the ACCNZ.com. Book your place a spot. Go give yourself a wet dream.
It's a good time.
Yeah, definitely a good time. What's attendance required for you, James McOnie, this weekend or this week?
It's all NFL this week.
Yeah.
I've got to say we've got
You
they
guys
call
got
them
massive white-ons for
they
the
call them
NFL.
the conference. Just call
Well, this
them,
is the
it's
time
a-
of year to
it's-
have a wide on for the NFL.
It's
2 more weeks.
basically the semi-finals, so just call them that. They are the semi-finals
Yeah.
because it's Super Bowl semi-finals, and that means you've got the Chiefs, which has got Pat Mahomes against Joe Burrow, which is kind of the exciting 2 young guys, and then on the other side you've got Matthew Stafford as a quarterback who played for the team that I support, the Lions, and had a terrible, the worst team in the NFL, and suddenly got this new lease of life with your Rams, and they play the 49ers, and Jimmy Garoppolo is such a dreamboat. You could put him on Grey's Anatomy, and McDreamy would have to fuck off because he is so good looking.
He is ridiculously good
He is
looking.
so
eh?
hot. Like I can't believe it. Berrettini, maybe that Italian tennis player, might stand a chance. But anyway, that all Californian game is going to be so cool though because
Yeah.
they're
It's
trying to
SoFi.
and they're shitting their pants in LA because they didn't have a gridiron team for a while, American football team. And so they're worried there's heaps of 49ers fans in LA who are going to come
Well, the
along.
last game against the 49ers, the reason why the 49ers are in the playoffs at all was because the Rams lost for the 6th time in a row to the 49ers at SoFi, and it was like a home game for San Francisco for the Niners.
Yeah, most LA football fans are probably Raiders fans or something like that. There are Rams fans from back in the day as well. They were there in one incarnation.
But they've been there for 5 years. That's unfair to say there's not, because there's a big Ramley. I'm part of the Ramley.
I know, but what I'm saying is like there's heaps of 49ers fans who, because it's like everybody just
It's like fanging down from Hamilton, pretty much.
Yeah,
Fanging
it is.
from Dunedin to Hamilton.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to happen because there's a big campaign. Don't sell your tickets to those dirty, rich Silicon Valley wankers. We're holding on, and the tickets
We're
price.
holding on. I like how it's like you're living there. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you're
We're holding on. No, it's going to be a home game. It's SoFi, the greatest stadium. But how crazy! There was no NFL in Los Angeles for the longest time, and now the 2 last games of the season both going to be at SoFi Stadium in
LA,
in Inglewood. So you got that's crazy. So there's this game, and then the Super Bowl's at SoFi with Eminem and bloody Dr. Dre and bloody Snoop Dogg. It's going to be an amazing halftime.
shit. Yeah, good halftime.
Sweet. Okay.
All right,
We'll
okay.
enjoy that.
Yep. One more
See you
week of
later.
us punishing you with NFL, and then
Yeah.
we'll be back to talking about the netty.
Hey, great commentating, guys.
Thanks, mate.
I enjoyed it.